March 18th, 2015. And so I was just talking about how I was being told to practice this solicitation of sex thing, so that supposedly someone was going to give me money, not for sex, but like just give me money to help me get by with like living expenses, whatever. Like here, you need some money, basically like that. You know, like occasionally adults would do that. You know, you need like, do you need $10? Go get yourself a new toy and, you know, something to eat, whatever. Here, I've got this. Can you spend that? Go ahead and just get whatever you want. So, you know, sometimes adults would do that. And so that's the kind of thing that they made it sound like would happen. And so then one of the times, like as I said, they used my dad a couple times. And other individuals as well. And then one of the times they used my mom, they it was at this place called Jenny's Shoes in Coos Bay, and this Jenny's Shoes place, the women were standing around there waiting for this to happen. Some guy, we were looking at shoes inside, and me and my mom, and then this man opened the door and said, come on, or, you know, I don't remember exactly what the words were for getting me to go with them. But so it was something that would have sounded to other individuals kind of lurid in some way. So, you know, like, come on, I've got some money. Come with me. You know, I have a place. I have an apartment just around the corner. You know, something was said that then it sounded really like didn't sound good. You know, it wouldn't sound good to anyone, and especially if they knew that this was just a stranger coming in the door, and then some girls running out after him. But I did what I was conditioned to do and what I was programmed to do. So then my mom kind of grabbed at me. My mom grabbed at me and she grabbed my arm. She said, "No, no," and she was like pleading with me, "No, don't go," and trying to hold on to me. And I was struggling against her. And they made me do that too. They made me do this whole like fighting against somebody who was trying to get me to stay with them. And it's what I was supposed to do. And I'm not kidding. They forced me to practice that many times, and then I was getting tortured to practice that. So here, my mom was like holding on to me, and she looked really serious and everything. And you know, probably my mom, she was, but she was like, "No, don't go," and everything. And I fought against her. And sorry, I'm yawning so much. I'm just really tired. Anyway, so I fought against my mom, and she kept holding on to me like, you know, she really cared about me, and she's scared for me, and please don't go, that kind of thing. And the guy was already going around the corner, like not paying attention, just like, okay, whatever, not going out. And then I go running out after him. So to an outsider, this looked really bad. Looked like, number one, I was totally desperate, you know, running after some guy who's kind of making a weird proposition and then being aloof about it. And then here I was, a minor. I was, you know, a preteen. And then not only that, here I am rejecting my trusted, loved, safe ones. You know, the parents, the people who are the guardians that are supposed to care about you the most and who you should be respecting the most. And I'm rejecting them and running out after some guy who's making me look like I'm a hooker, basically, like a child hooker. And that was actually coming up after I had made up a song about Katie the Slut or whatever. And I'm not kidding. So many people did so many horrible things to me after that. And really, like, I don't really know what their problem was, but they can't let a kid, you know, write up a song and whatever. But they came up with this idea to have me look like I was a hooker, or like a child hooker. And they got me to believe that it was part of a government routine where I would just get money out of it without having to do anything. And and in reality, it was set up to make me look really bad. And so and then little did I know, potentially, that down the road it was going to be used to facilitate my being raped. Because then they used that aspect of it, where I was supposed to go with a strange man. Here I was getting programmed to go to reject people that cared about me, hold on to me, or whatever, that I thought cared, and run after this strange man and go with him. And then once I went with him, then the government was using this strange man to use the other set of triggers to rape me and have it look like it was a consensual sex thing when it wasn't. So instead of even just kind of going so far as to just the practice part of running after the man and then not really going anywhere, they were then doing the second part of the programming. So they were starting to combine their programming sequences, basically. And the way that they were combining them was to facilitate my being raped. Not only my being raped, but my being made to look like I was a floozy, like I was just somebody who'd go after a one-night stand and, reject people that looked stable, and I'd just run after other people who were strangers, which wasn't my character at all. It wasn't my nature. And so here I was at like I said, at Jenny's shoes, and my mom was looking at these shoes, and then I ran after this guy, and then this guy just took off, and then so I turned around and went back to my mom. And when I got back, she said, well, the other women there, they said, well, she said something like, well, I just got a pair of shoes for Katie, and there was this girl there named Katie, and supposedly they were giving Katie a pair of shoes. And I didn't get a pair of shoes because I just had taken off, so I didn't get any shoes. And Katie was the one who got shoes. And these other women were just looking at me like I was the floozy of the town, and they had these mean, malicious looks, and I had a really bad feeling. I just had sort of a sinking feeling like, this is really bad. I don't know what is up with them, but they have something very bad planned for me. Like, they don't like me, they hate me, I can tell. They were feeling really excited about the fact that I was running after this strange guy and then coming back looking stupid. And I just thought it was just the weirdest sense. It was like it felt much bigger than what had just happened. I sensed that there was more to it than just that scene. And they were making such a big deal about it, and making so much about it with having to do with Katie Middleton again. And so that is the last time that I remember a big dramatic scene where because they kept testing this effect on me and having me practice it and then do it and all that over and over and over. And so after doing this all the time with me, and then I remember that being like the last time that they practiced that with me, with my mom. So then that didn't happen again until until 10 years from then. I was a little over 10 years. And I was in the Portland area, and as I say, Erica Ballinger, who was this trusted friend, I thought, had driven us to this club and was driving us back, and after I'd had a few drinks, so basically kind of my even normal state was weakened a little bit, but I thought, hey, it's girls night, and I could trust her. she's the designated driver, you know, no big deal. And she pulled this whole thing outside of the club, saying, no, and so she basically, I said, I'm going to go with him because he had said something that made me think along the same lines of the triggers that they'd used with these other individuals. And so then her whole cue was in front of her car was to hold on to me and grab me. And when I thought about it later, you know, she grabbed me the same way that my mom grabbed me, had grabbed me at Jenny's shoes, and held on to me, and she said like the same things. And then I finally said, "You're not my mom. No, leave me alone." And I struggled against her, which was basically the same thing that they had me do in practice repeatedly over and over and over. And and then after they did this to me, or after she did this to me, you know, grabbed me and all of that, and I was holding on to her, or